Good morning, distinguished chair, respected presenters, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here today. My name is Mutiara Pandia and I am the first author of this study. On behalf of my co-author, Fitrie Handayani, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the opportunity to present our research entitled The Influence of TikTok Live Streaming as a Social Innovation-Based E-Recruitment Tool on Job Application Intention. During this presentation, I will first introduce the background and research objective, followed by the literature review that underpins this study. I will then explain the research methodology, present the key findings and discussion, and finally conclude with the main conclusions and practical implications of our research. Without further ado, let me begin with the introduction. The rapid development of digital technology has transformed recruitment practices from traditional methods to electronic recruitment or e-recruitment. Today, social media is no longer used only for branding and marketing, but also has become an effective recruitment channel. Among these platforms, TikTok stands out due to its high user engagement, especially in Indonesia. In addition to short-form videos, TikTok live streaming enables real-time interaction between organization and potential candidates, creating a more engaging recruitment experience for Gen Z who are digital natives. Although previous studies have shown that social media can support recruitment effectiveness and improve candidate experience, most of them examine TikTok as a general platform rather than investigating the impact of its specific features. As a result, the role of TikTok live streaming as an interactive and synchronous e-recruitment tool remains underexplored. Therefore, the objective of this study to examine the influence of TikTok live streaming as an interactive social media-based e-recruitment tool on Gen Z fresh graduates' job application intention, while also providing insights for organizations on how live streaming environments can utilize to develop more interactive and engaging recruitment strategies. This study is supported by three main concepts and two theoretical frameworks. First, TikTok live streaming is an interactive feature that enables real-time communication between organizations and audiences. Unlike conventional social media posts, live streaming allows immediate interaction through features such as live comments, virtual gifting, and live polls. To explain why users engage with this platform, this study adopts the uses and gratifications theory, which suggests that individuals actively use media to satisfy their needs. In this research, these needs are represented by four dimensions, which include cognitive needs, affective needs, personal identity needs, and social interaction and integration needs. Second, this study discusses e-recruitment, which refers to the use of digital technologies and online platforms to support recruitment activities. To understand how individuals accept and use recruitment technologies, this study employs the Technology Acceptance Model, or TAM, and according to TAM, technology adoption is primarily influenced by perceived usefulness, which refers to how beneficial users perceive the technology to be, and perceived ease of use, which reflects how easy the technology is to use. Finally, the dependent variable is job application intention, which refers to an individual's willingness and readiness to apply for employment opportunities. Previous studies suggest that this intention is influenced by factors such as organizational attractiveness, company reputation, and the quality of the recruitment experience. Since Gen Z is highly familiar with digital technologies, interactive recruitment platforms like TikTok live streaming are expected to positively influence their intention to apply for jobs. Moving on to the methodology, this study employed a quantitative research approach to examine the influence of TikTok live streaming as an e-recruitment tool on Gen Z fresh graduates' job application intention. Data were collected through a structured online questionnaire using Google Forms, and the respondents were Gen Z fresh graduates, and the questionnaire was distributed using a snowball sampling technique over a period of 3 weeks. A total of 294 responses were collected, and after applying the screening criteria, 259 valid responses were retained for further analysis. All questionnaire items were measured using a 4-point Likert scale, ranging from 1, which is strongly disagree, to 4, which is strongly agree. For data analysis, this study employed partial least square structural equation modeling using Smart PLS 4.0. The independent variable in this study is TikTok live streaming as a recruitment tool, which consists of 4 dimensions, including cognitive needs, affective needs, personal identity needs, and social interaction and integration needs. Meanwhile, the dependent variable is job application intention, which is measured through perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and behavioral intention. After collecting and analyzing the data using Smart PLS, I will now present the findings of this study. We will start with the respondents' characteristics. So this study initially collected 294 responses through an online questionnaire. After applying the screening criteria, 258 valid responses were retained for analysis. Most respondents were between 20 and 22 years old, representing approximately 65% of the sample, while female respondents accounted for about 69%. More importantly, almost all respondents actively use TikTok on a daily basis, and nearly all of them had previously watched recruitment-related TikTok live sessions within the last 6 months. Next, we will discuss about the descriptive statistics. As you can see on the left, TikTok live streaming is represented by 4 dimensions, which include cognitive needs, affective needs, personal identity needs, and social interaction and integration needs. On the right, job application intention is reflected through perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and behavioral intention. The results show a path coefficient of 0.834, indicating a strong positive relationship between TikTok live streaming and job application intention. Overall, the findings suggest that TikTok live streaming is an effective e-recruitment feature that positively influences Gen Z fresh graduates' intention to apply for jobs. Next, the measurement model was evaluated to assess reliability and validity. The measurement model demonstrates satisfactory reliability and convergent validity, indicating that the constructs accurately measure the intended variables and can be used for structural model analysis. After confirming the measurement model, the structural model was analyzed using PLS-SEM. The path coefficient between TikTok live streaming as a recruitment tool and job application intention is 0.834. The bootstrapping results produce a t-statistic of 29172 and a p-value below 0.001, indicating that the relationship is statistically significant. Therefore, the proposed hypothesis is supported, and these findings demonstrate that TikTok live streaming is significantly and positively influences Gen Z fresh graduates' intention to apply for jobs. Moving on to the key findings, this slide compares the contribution of each dimension of TikTok live streaming as a recruitment tool. As shown, social interaction and integration needs emerge as the strongest dimension, followed by personal identity needs and affective needs. Although cognitive needs recorded the lowest coefficient, it is still demonstrated a strong positive relationship. The most important finding is that the interactive and experiential dimensions consistently outperform the cognitive dimension. This indicates that Gen Z is influenced not only by the recruitment information provided through TikTok live streaming, but also by the quality of the interaction and overall recruitment experience. These findings suggest that organizations should move beyond one-way information sharing and instead design recruitment activities that foster meaningful interaction and engagement with potential applicants. Finally, the model demonstrates strong explanatory power. The R-square value of 0.696 indicates that approximately 69.6% of the variance in job application intention can be explained by TikTok live streaming as a recruitment tool. Furthermore, the effect size of 2291, which is substantially above the recommended threshold for a large effect. To conclude, this study demonstrates that TikTok live streaming significantly influences Gen Z fresh graduates' job application intention. More importantly, the findings reveal that interactive and experiential elements such as real-time communication, personal engagement, and social interaction have a stronger influence than simply delivering recruitment information. This highlights the importance of creating engaging recruitment experiences for candidates, especially Gen Z fresh graduates. Therefore, organizations in this era should adopt more interactive and participatory recruitment strategies to strengthen candidate engagement. This study also contributes to the e-recruitment literature by extending the discussion to live streaming environments. However, it is limited by its relatively homogeneous sample and its focus on job application intention rather than actual application behavior. Future research should include more diverse populations and examine actual recruitment outcomes. With that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome any feedback or questions regarding to our research.